Welcome to Adventures in Good Health, a weekly podcast where we explore natural approaches to the good life. And in that, I mean good health. I am your host and aspiring herb geek, David Maloof. Today, we are deep diving into natural approaches to healing. And then, in Doc's Herbal Corner, we will discuss with Dr. Stephen Tates, not a particular herb this time, but a classification of powerful herbs known as bitters. This podcast is sponsored by Dr. Tates Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. And while we will mention the tonics if they are relevant to the conversation, this podcast is not an infomercial. Let's get started. Joining me by phone is naturalist, herbalist, breast care specialist, and owner of MedSource Medical Wellness in Charleston, South Carolina, Melinda Dingle. Well, good morning, Melinda, and thank you very much for joining our podcast.
Thank you, David, for having me.
Melinda, everyone has a story to tell through their journey into natural approaches to good health. What is your story? How did you start in the world of natural approaches to good health?
Well, I started, back in 2009, I was diagnosed with a stage 3 breast cancer tumor. And I had to go through various treatments, the radiation and chemotherapy. So when I finished with those treatments, I knew that my body was just so drained from having the chemotherapy medications and the radiation in my body. I know that there were medicals and all sorts of radicals in my body that I needed to detox and to get rid of. One of the medications that I was given during chemotherapy is actually red. So this chemo drug actually turned everything in me red.
Wow.
So I most definitely get that out of my system. And it's called adriamycin, is what it's referred to. But it is a drug that, it punishes your respiratory system. It punishes everything in your body. It's very, very toxic, but it treats the cancer. So I did that, but I know that there were still some of those chemicals inside of my body. So I was taking a natural approach to detox and to get everything out. Because of the adriamycin and those chemo drugs that was still just lingering in my body, I know I had to detox to remove all the radicals and the metals and all of those harsh toxic treatments that I was receiving. So I turned to all natural, herbal, and holistic solutions.
So, and when you were researching prior to that, did you have any experience with herbal medicine or holistic approaches, or did you have to learn everything from the ground up?
Well, of course, from old family traditions, I remember my grandmother and great-grandmother, of course, doing a lot of herbal and natural remedies, at home for coughs and colds and different things. So I knew a little bit about some of the herbal remedies, but I did do abundance of researching, yes.
So at this point, you started researching, and you're already cancer free at that point,
that is correct.
Which was wonderful news. You wanted to get those chemicals out of you, and you wanted to develop a detox regimen to get those chemicals out of you. Did you read books? Did you find information online? What was your journey to where you are today?
Yes, I read books and I also contacted local herbalists that I knew here that were already in the herbalist system here, just already making the remedies, and they already were set up with stores and clinics. So I did reach out to a couple of them to, help out on my journey of, what I was trying to do. And one of the localists here, his name is Tom, he gave me so much information and clarified up so much. And he helped me out a great deal. And from then on, I knew I had to stay on this path.
Wow. So, Melinda, what is natural approaches to good health? What does that mean to you?
Natural approaches to good health to me is I focus on natural foods and herbs to maintain how I live and how I maintain on a daily basis of trying to eat right and trying to live right. It just makes your body and mental clarity is just a big thing about it also that I like with dealing with natural herbs and natural living. My mental clarity has really, really expanded and opened up for me. And overall, natural living it just makes your body feel whole again.
Now, something that I found is um, through my journey is there is no, I should say, one answer or one particular herb that just seems to there is no magic herb, and
No,
also they interact, and so you really need to know. I mean, if someone is going to go into herbal medicine and they're going to integrate that into their lifestyle, they need to understand what they're taking. How do you
exactly.
how do you know what to balance?
Well, when people come in to see me, most of my clients that come in to me, I already know that they are doing chemotherapy and radiation, and they're at the stage where the treatment is complete. So, with that being said, they need to detox. So, I always put them on a detox regimen that is not harmful to the body, not going to interact with any other medications or anything else that's going on, but they need to detox. And right when the stage that I see folks is that the treatment is finished or they're not on any medication right then and there. So it's a good time to detox where there's no interaction with any other medication or anything else that they're going to start later on down the line. And with that being said, the tinctures that I do, again, are all natural. That won't interfere or interact with anything that's going on during this detoxification time.
So people, women who have gone through chemotherapy, uh, how are they finding out about your services?
Well, initially, what happens is I get referrals from the local oncologist here that someone has just been diagnosed. I get them in that kind of an early stage. So they first come to me because I also kind of sort of, lead them into the path of where they want to go. If they want to do surgery or if they want to just go all natural or just good breast health information is what I'm trying to do and educate with women because when they come in to see me, they're brand new, they know nothing. So I start from a good education point about breast health. So most of my referrals and all of my reactions with these newly diagnosed cancer patients are from oncologists.
You mentioned that they're brand new. I would imagine some of them are probably kind of scared too.
Oh, yes, 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 yes. And that's where my education and experience comes in with these women because I've experienced. So I know the treatment and I know the results and I know the reactions. So it's a good place where I can help so many people, and I do, and I love doing it.
So, in your travels, I mean, I'm just kind of curious, how did you find the herbs? I mean, I understand that each person is a different combination of herbs based on their situation. Um, how do you know which ones to work with?
Well, I travel a lot, and I have traveled all over to Colombia and Jamaica and Mexico, just getting different herbs from different countries, providing information of what these herbs do and the different remedies that these countries make from these herbs. So I would go to the Caribbean, and okay, I would find a drug there that is good for breast cancer or good for cancer. And I came out to find that apricot seeds are good for breast cancer. Soursop is good for breast cancer. So I traveled, from country to country, getting these herbs and then learning about the remedies and the herbs to come back to the States to make these teas and tinctures.
Wow. So, all right. So I'm now you're piquing my interest because one of the things we talk about adventures in good health is, there is sometimes an element of travel, and we are going to explore some of the health advantages of travel. But in this particular case, you're traveling to other countries to explore some of the medicinal herbs that they've discovered. Uh, so when you go into a country, I think you mentioned Jamaica. Uh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
aware that there's a pretty significant herbal medicine. I don't want to call it industry, but certainly there's a lot of naturopaths, a lot of herbalists in Jamaica.
Okay.
When you went to
Yeah.
Jamaica, did you just step off the plane and just start asking around, or did you already have a plan in place when you travel to another country?
Normally, I have a plan in place. I just don't just pop up on anyone, but normally I have a plan in place where I visit different farm areas, or I will venture off to find out who has, different herb stores, and that herb store will interact me with a local there who provides the herbs for the stores. And it's really pretty interesting from that point on because everyone there is so always so helpful and so generous too. I just get so so much information and clarity on different herbs.
Fantastic. On your for MedSource Medical Wellness, can you tell us a little bit about how you've turned your health needs and you've integrated that into your business?
Well, what I've done, like I said, I have so many women that are coming in and are exposed to daily stress and daily sicknesses. Um, it just herbal and natural approaches is just a way to heal, especially when they're under so much medication, and so much stress going on. I just see so many different people that come in and they just high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and all these teas and tinctures that I make directly is for diabetics. I have teas for blood pressure patients. I have teas for stress. I have teas for cancer. I mean, everyone who comes in, you find that they have an illness or a condition that they're trying to get some help for, and they don't want to depend on expensive medication. They're looking for the tonic, and they're looking for the herbs to do natural stuff at home and not have to go and get on different medications that's going to, really, really hurt them in their pockets because it's so expensive, and a lot of folks cannot afford the medications right now. I see that a lot too.
So Melinda, you were talking about tonics, and so do you make your own? You make some of your own tonics and tinctures. Is that correct?
I do. I do make tonics, and I make some tinctures.
Now you also carry some of the tonics from Dr. Tates.
Yes. I carry Dr. Tate's whole line of tonics, and personally, I use the blood tonic, and I also use the detox tonic. And the blood tonic is so helpful in my daily regimen because I take a capsule in the morning and I take a capsule in the evening. And for that blood tonic, I'm telling you, for any inflammation in your body, it is truly a go-to for me because any inflammation in your body you will see a difference from that blood tonic, and that's personal experience.
That's very, very good feedback. One of the first podcasts that we recorded was with Dr. Tates himself, and the primary topic of that podcast was inflammation and how inflammation will manifest itself in a lot of different ways, including ways that are not necessarily intuitive to someone who may not be as knowledgeable. But in your particular case, you were definitely experiencing that.
Yes. I had inflammation in my left arm, and I started that regimen of the blood tonic, and it has really, really helped that inflammation to decrease.
Fantastic.
There was a point where I was having a hard time moving my left arm, and I can tell from drinking it on that daily basis like I was doing, it has my arm feeling back like normal again.
But you also make your own tonics and you make your own tinctures. So I'm just kind of curious, as someone who's still on his journey, what is the difference between a tonic and a tincture?
A tonic is more of roots that you actually boil to make a tonic.
Okay.
And that's how I make mine. I actually boil the roots from different herbs. The tinctures, you actually just take the herb, the leaves, and you soak them either in 100% grain alcohol or an oil. And that can be an olive oil, an avocado oil, a coconut oil. That's the difference between the tonic and the tincture.
This has been a very informative discussion. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to share with our audience. How can people reach you?
Yes, David. People can reach me at 843-906-5020, or we have a location in Charleston, South Carolina at 2179 Ashley Phosphate Road in North Charleston.
Perfect, Melinda. And we'll put that information in the details in the podcast. That way people can pull that information up right from the podcast service that they're using or also from YouTube. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
And now we continue today's podcast by shuttling on over to Doc's Herbal Corner with Dr. Stephen Tates.
Okay. Thank you for having me here.
Doc, thank you very much for spending some time with us. In the last several sessions we've had with Doc's Herbal Corner, we have spoken about, or you have spoken about, a specific herb, its benefits, and what people need to know. But I've noticed kind of a recurring theme with a lot of these herbs is that they fall under a certain classification.
Yes, they do.
And that classification is bitters.
Correct.
So instead of talking today about a single herb, can you share with us why we need bitters in our life?
Well, outside of certain exceptions with certain plants and herbs, the bitters have the highest concentration of properties in them. And with those properties, the body's functions and responses are quicker and more effective when we use bitters. All legitimate herbalists, not somebody that took a course somewhere, but all legitimate herbalists tend to lean toward bitters, and then they tend to have their favorite bitters. It could be burdock, it could be gentian, it could be ginger, it could be sassafras, it could be sarsaparilla, it could be chamomile, it could be, a variety of different ones. The bitters go deeper into the cellular structure, deeper into the body, and increase a couple of things. And one of those things is circulation and blood cleansing and blood flow, which then helps, no matter what other properties that are in those particular bitters, helps that cleansing of the kidneys and liver and the spleen and the pancreas, heart muscles, starting to remove, decades of old waste in the body. So when you're trying to do that third principle of health that we talked about, the body's capable of cleansing, healing, rebuilding itself, provided we do what? Give it the right ingredients, give it the right conditions so that the body can do its thing better. The bitters work hand in hand and help them make that process where the body actually starts to cleanse and heal faster.
Is there a connection between the strength of an herb being a bitter, because it's from like the stem or the bark or the root of the plant, versus herbs that might taste better, but they're part of a leaf or a flower?
Yeah, now leaves and flowers, depending on leaves and flowers with their essential oil, can be very powerful. And that might be a podcast at some point, understanding the flowers and essential oils like, lavender oil and things of that nature, grapeseed oil extracts and stuff like that. But that's a category for another time. But when you're really trying to flush the urinary tract, move blood through the prostate area, really helping detox, the best way to start is with bitters. Now, you can still go to essential oils after you started doing the bitters, but you want to be safely aggressive in starting to move things out of the system. And a safely aggressive process is doing your bitters, okay? It will help with your digestive response by enhancing the secretion of the digestive juices as the food is going down the GI tract or the gastrointestinal tract from the throat and the mouth, the throat, down that, I call it that pipe in the middle of the body. What it's doing is these digestive enzymes are going in, mixing with and softening up the food that you're eating so that when it gets down into the intestines, the body can absorb the nutrients better, provided, of course, the food, can be broken down, but it helps in that breaking down process. So the bitters help that process. Now, you don't have to take the bitters while you're eating. Just taking, your favorite bitter tonic or something that's a bitter, and every herbalist has a favorite, taking it on a regular basis every day. You're taking it on a regular basis every day, then it builds those digestive juices up so that when you're eating healthy food, it breaks it down. It breaks it down like into a mush type of thing, where when it gets to the large and small intestine, it absorbs through the pores of your intestines, and then that nutrients get into the bloodstream, and then it starts to circulate through the body. And that's
the bitters can be pretty strong then.
Oh yeah.
They are strong.
I mean, because you know some of my bitter formulas, that can make your head go around like The Exorcist or something when you first take it, because decades ago, bitters was a common thing, in all cultures, even in this country. Our great-grandparents and stuff, they made bitter herbs. Bitters was part of, the nutritional and healing process. But over the decade, sweet, salty has taken over what people tend to consume more. And that's wrong, because it should be more of the bitters, especially when you're dealing with herbs and stuff like that, especially when you're dealing with something to help with the digestive process. Another bitter is apple cider vinegar. Now, it's a cider vinegar, and you would think that because it's cider vinegar, that it would go in the body alkaline. But no, I mean acidic. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. But it goes in alkaline. And the more alkaline stuff is, the more it harnesses that healing power that we've talked about before. And the bitters, you'll think will be acidic to the body. It goes in and feels like it's going to be acidic, but it's converted by the tongue into an alkaline substance, which helps build the immune system, because our body needs to be 75% alkaline and about 25% acidic when you're talking about a balance, basically around that range. So the bitters and helping with the digestion helps with building it to that process where now the body can break down what you're eating, get the nutrition, build your energy, build your immune system. And then because of the bitters, it will help that waste products from the food you're eating be eliminated, again, provided that the food has some nutritional value to it. If it doesn't, it may break it down still some, but the body's got nothing to absorb. So, unless you're absorbing sugar, which is not something you want to absorb through the body.
No.
But that does happen, because when you're eating a lot of cakes and pies and sugar, even without the bitters, the body's going to absorb a lot of that stuff into the bloodstream, which contributes to the high glucose and diabetic kind of conditions. But I just threw that in there. But we're looking at foods that, are sensible and nourishing. And then we've been doing the bitters on a daily basis. It could be some ginger tea or some sassafras tea or, blood tonic or detox tonic that's got several bitters in it, and you're just taking a small amount. It still builds the body up and has a good effect on the body. Even if you took the bitter tonic in the morning and you didn't eat till the afternoon, that's still okay, because it's still going to break it down, and you'll be able to absorb more nutrients, and the body will get stronger a lot quicker. Your bitters tend to help remove gas and excess fluid out of the body, especially that bloating. Great for heartburns, because the heartburn is the acid buildup because the food waste is sitting in your GI tract because the digestive system's off. So when you're doing things that are bitter, like say ginger or something else, or burdock something, it's going to help break that down so that the body can digest better, which means absorbs more nutrition, which builds the energy and helps with the elimination of the byproducts of the food that you're eating.
So that it's interesting that you mentioned that, because you have bitters in your blood tonic and your Dox Detox, and I think in some of your other tonics as well. But when I first started taking your blood tonic, before I started taking it, I had stomach issues.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when I first took the tonic, I was like, oh, there's a bitterness to this. This is going to really flare up some of my stomach issues.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Acid reflux or something like
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't happen. And I was like, I didn't understand the chemical processes or how it was working, but it did not work, or I should say, it didn't hurt my stomach as I thought it might.
Right, and naturally so. You know, I can see that being a concern, but yeah, obviously you see that it's not a concern.
No, I mean it's fine
because it's moving things out. You know, the bitters help the blood circulation, but it helps the urinary tract flow. So it helps with cleaning, the secretions of the urine to flush that out, so it helps with the bladder and the gallbladder. It also helps break up blockages in your lymph glands, whether it's the lymph glands under your arms or, under your chin, down near your groin area, stuff which can hold blockages, which can contribute to problems. The bitters go in and say, aha, I found you. We're evicting you. Did you get your eviction notice? And it will help move that out, which the more stuff that can be harmful for the body that, you can move out, the more the body helps in its healing. And bitters are like at the top of the list and its effects on the body.
Now, I do know that there are products out there that have bitters, but they also have sweeteners.
Which kills the bitterness. The bitterness. It still may taste bitter, but you create chaos in the body. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but...
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
No.
It makes chaos.
You were just quite emphatic.
Yeah, right. Your nose, I just took over that.
You just took that over.
And I guess the reason why is because with the tonics that I have on the market, that have the bitters and stuff in it, tonics that we have on the market, some of these people said that people won't take bitters, so you got to sweeten it. And for me, as a true herbalist, that's like an insult. No. People will get accustomed to it. People get accustomed to it because they will feel how much more benefits it gets. Same as you just gave an example. You thought it was going to be a problem, and it actually was a solution. But when you sweeten it, now you created chaos in the body because you got a bitter in there and you got a sweetener in there. And the people that take a tonic, they adjust it. They look for that bitterness. Now, heaven forbid if I made it less bitter, I'd have to leave town, leave the country. This is not as bitter as it used to be. What have you done? You're cutting corners.
You would upset your customers.
Yeah, because they've gotten used to it. So all that research stuff that's done with people who are not herbalists, and people that don't understand bitters. All they know is it had a bitter taste to it, and because it had a bitter taste, people are not going to take it. Some of my most loyal people who take the tonic site that we have that have those bitters in it are our children and our seniors. The people you think would be the most sensitive to it. So when the parents start to forget, I need my bitter. They know the name. I need my stuff because all they know to make them feel better. They may not understand the theory of bitters and stuff, but my children, I got an extended children list. I'm Dr. Steve.
Yeah.
When my kids, I'm not Dr. Tates. I'm Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve, Dr. Steve, which I like, with the children, not with the adults, but with the children. And they love their tonic. They love it, So all that research that people won't take it, people will, if they're serious about their health, people will take what works, and they're not going to worry about the fact that it's bitter, because they start to see the improvements, and that's what they're looking for, and that's what they need, and that's what they want.
Well, Doc, I mean, I think it just helps the audience understand the bitters.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, what you were saying just actually answered one of my own personal questions about, well, how did that work? Appreciate that very much,
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like a lot of the herbs that are most effective, most powerful, tend to be on the bitter side.
Absolutely.
And so we need to understand why that's important,
Mm-hmm.
and to be mindful of adding flavors and things like that.
Yeah, because people are like, can I make it sweet? Do you want it to work? Yeah, but then no. So I can't put a little bit of sugar? No.
So full disclosure, one of the first questions I asked, well, can we put
some honey, or
something in it, or
yeah.
But you do get used to it actually very fast.
Actually, very fast, because the bitters match one of the things that the body needs. That's why your body adjusts so quickly, because it's a match, it's a piece that's missing that we're not consuming enough of, and that's the bitters. So the body's recognizing itself. About time. Where you been? You been on vacation? Bring more of your bitter buddies in my body. I mean, that's how the body responds. And then because of that, and because of the things that I've outlined, it improves the body's immune system, which again, anything that improves the body's immune system, it's going to slow down the aging and increase the body's ability to remove toxins and stuff out of the body that can kill us if we don't.
So if people want to learn more about bitters, they can reach out to their naturopaths that are in their local area,
Mm-hmm.
or herbalists.
Mm-hmm.
You're around, aren't you?
Yeah. Then call me.
They can always call you. So if someone wants to call you, how would they do that?
Okay, best numbers is 404-943-1171 or 404-435-9336. And if they miss me, I may be helping some people. Just leave a message, but also mention that you're watching some of the podcasts, because then it elevates your status in the call. And the reason why it elevates your status, because, okay, you're watching the podcast with me, you must have some interest in trying to improve your overall health. You just say, oh, it's a health podcast, and go switch to some dumb stuff on YouTube or something else. It shows me that, oh, you like what you heard, and now you're calling to follow up on it. That puts you in a different category than somebody that's just out of curiosity.
Okay, so one of the side benefits of listening to this podcast is that you become elevated.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right, and your contact information is in the podcast information on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, BuzzSprout, and YouTube.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for having me.
And now, a quick word about our sponsor, Dr. Tates Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Dr. Tate's all-natural herbal formulas, which are the true definition of herbal tonics, have been available for over 20 years. These specially formulated herbal tonics are designed to help cleanse, heal, rebuild, and revitalize your body, which will help improve your overall health. Dr. Tate's offers the Herbal Blood Tonic, Doc's Detox, Herbal Fat Burner, Herbal Female Tonic, and Herbal Male Tonic. If you would like to learn more about the tonics and where to pick up your bottle, call 404-459-8696 or visit Dr. Tate's online. That's drtates.online. No www, no .com, just drtates.online. Or you can simply Google Dr. Tates Herbal Tinctures and Tonics, and you will find information about the tonics on the internet. The contact information presented during this podcast is available in the podcast information wherever you are listening or watching. That does it for this episode of Adventures in Good Health, and we would like to hear from you regarding this podcast or any suggestions you have for future podcasts. You can reach us at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe and leave a rating or a review. Until next week, this is David Maloof exploring natural approaches to good health.